What's going on, everyone? Justin here from I Love Bad Designs. It's late, it's cold, which is why I'm out here at 11 o'clock at night installing a remote start in my 2019 Audi SQ5. So this should apply for all B9s, I would say Q5s, SQ5s at least, maybe A4s, A5s, S4s, S5s, you get the point. Anyway, I'm just going to run through this quick, just cover some crucial stuff. This is an Evo-ONE remote start with an Evo-Start LTE adapter, and then I use the THAR-AUD2 model for the T-harness, which is supposed to be plug and play, which it is mostly, but there were a couple of splices, so I'm just going to cover this really quick. First, with the wiring. All right, to get access to it, there are other videos that cover it, but basically on the SQ5 you take off this rear panel. Underneath here is your fuse block. Underneath that is your BCM. Your BCM is where you're going to be making all the connections. I had a problem with the stock, the aftermarket connector. It was kind of bending the pins on the BCM, so I had to finagle that a little bit, but otherwise T-harness plugs in no problem. I think that was just a QC issue with the aftermarket plug or whatever that they were using as part of the T-harness design. Anyway, plug and play with that. You know, basically just color-coded connectors. You plug them in where they're supposed to be. It's all covered in the manual. Done. You have these additional connectors that are hanging off of here. Didn't use any of those. With the Evo-Start, there's literally one connection that you have to make. It's a yellow ignition. And that yellow ignition, I tapped off of this, I don't know how many pins that is, but there's one yellow wire on that. And literally just, there's two wires. It's a blue one and a yellow one. The blue one, I think, is for, the hood pin. And then the yellow one is for ignition signal. So I just tapped into that. Done. And then this just plugs in here, this blue connection right here. And you have your ignition. So this is satisfied, all good. Power connection. I did a power connection off of the same power tap that this fuse was using. So this fuse is 12 volt power to a connector that plugs in here, and I tapped off of it so it could feed in this way as well. Ground, there's already a grounding point here. I just used the ring terminal that was already supplied on the harness and grounded it out there along with the rest of this factory wiring. Okay, great. All the wiring is pretty much done at that point. To program this thing, you need to pick up this flash link. This is a flash link 4. Flash link 4 connects to this, which is the same that this would normally plug into. You plug in here, it powers the device. You cannot have your 12 volt connection to this because it gets into a confused state because it's getting 12 from here and 12 from here, and it just it won't cooperate. So only connect that. Once that's connected, you can bring up your handy laptop with the FlashLink Manager software. I used the Wizard, which was supposed to be, the easy mode. I had to go into Pro to make a couple setting changes. These are important. First, you have to update the firmware on the bypass and on the remote starter if you're going to use the same setup as me. And then all the way at the bottom, when I used the Wizard, push to start was not enabled. That's suggested. That's what these thumbs mean, these little thumb marks. So I went in, set push to start to on. Okay, that's a no-brainer. Then under remote start, for whatever reason, and this is covered in the manual, but it wasn't selected by default, there's the option all the way at the bottom for system controlled by OEM remote. So this is option 38, and I had to set that to 38.2. Enable, press 3 times lock to remote start. Okay, once that's done, your firmware is updated on this, your firmware is updated on the bypass, you have that option set, and then under the bypass module, you have the rest of the suggested settings, which are indicated again by those little thumbs. Thumb, thumb, thumb. You're pretty much set. Okay, last step is you're going to connect your 12 volt connection. So I could remove this now. You're going to connect your 12 volt connection, but you're going to hold down the programming button while you're making that connection. These lights are going to blink slowly. They're going to go through I guess blue, yellow, red, then red, blue, and then back to blue. When it's just on blue, you're going to let the button off. That's going to enter into key programming mode. If you have your sacrificial key that is connected, you'll see the little wiring here. I have the RFID pickup coil connected to the back of the sacrificial key. Then that's going to basically allow you to program it. So again, you let up when it's blue. You're going to get inside the car. You're going to press ignition on, not to start it, just to put the ignition on. You're going to shut it off. That programs the key, and then this blue LED will go off. You should be good. Okay, so not the worst thing in the world. Definitely took a little bit of time to get this figured out. The settings definitely have to be messed with. I guess this is not really, meant for consumers. It's meant for, professional installers, whatever. Let me just stop playing with that zoom, and I'll just show you that this actually works now. So I'll connect this. I will connect the blue connection here, or black connection rather. Now this has connectivity restored. I'm going to close my trunk. And we're going to start it. Lock. Lock 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh. Alright, well, it worked. You get the point. I wasn't patient enough. After you press lock 3 times, I think you have to wait 5 seconds and it'll start. And there you go. Remote start in an Audi SQ5. This is a B9. Successful. And I'm just going to put the panel and everything back and call it a night.